Yo, what's going on, you guys? I'm OMGT,
And I'm Jordan,
and we are the Billionaire
Millionaire Book
Book Club.
Love.
Hey,
Okay.
okay, and today we got something a little different for you guys. We have a book called Delivering Happiness by Tony Shea, and we're gonna get into it. We're gonna have a quick conversation about it, and we're gonna see how it is. So, how your day? Let's start off by how's your day going today, Jay?
How was my day? Oh man. Well, I'm still in the 9 to 5 grind. So I'm a little tired, but hey, we had to get up on here and do some talking about the books we read so y'all can join in with us, join the conversation. So that's how my day is going. How about you?
Yeah, man, just busy, y'all. Just busy, and productively busy. Like I'm not talking about like busy, like you just got a lot of things to do but get nothing done. Busy. So no, I've just been pushing through though. I feel like at this moment, all you gotta do is just be consistent and push through, regardless of whatever you're going through. So
Wow, that's crazy. I was actually thinking about that today because I was at my job today and I was trying to get as much done as I could, and then I felt like I got like 5 minutes of work done, but an hour went by, and I'm just like, that's a real thing. People are busy but don't get anything done. Like busy but not productive. Like that's a real thing.
yeah, it is, and it's too much time lost in that. It's like I need to make sure like one of the things, and we talk about this on previous episodes, like just a daily to-do list. Like I have to see what I'm getting done. I have to see check marks or a line crossed out because I will go crazy. I will go crazy. Like I'm somebody, I love working. I love working, and maybe I work a little bit too much, but sometimes you can get lost in everything that you're doing. And the biggest thing you have to do is, persevere. But in the meantime, you have to make sure that you're getting that stuff done.
Right,
And
yeah.
and that's what, I feel like this book that we read, Delivering a Happiness, I feel like for me personally, this was like a story, guys. This wasn't something that like a typical book. It was like, it was an Asian American, Tony Shea. He was just telling us the details about his life, where he like his upbringing, how his parents was strict. His parents was on him to go to school, and he always had like an entrepreneur spirit. That's what I got from it. And he was in so many different things, and he was just had to persevere through his obstacles. He was just facing obstacles, and instead of boohooing and crying, he always found a way to win. He always found a way to make it work. And I think that I don't know. That's just like my spirit too. Just persevere through it all.
Yeah. I would say same for me. I think there is a fine line between deciding when it is time to move on to the next venture if something isn't working. It's hard to decide that, make that decision. Would you agree?
Yes. Because like for me, it's hard. I feel like it's just, well, not even just for me. I feel like in general, like you said, it's that thin line between, okay, is this worth it? Is this actually making sense, or is it a love and attachment for it? Because just like even like relationships, sometimes people will know something that's toxic. Or I've been in predicaments. I don't want to even blame other people. I've been in predicaments to where I was just comfortable. I was very comfortable, and instead of dealing with the pain of letting go or the pain of ending it, I just kept pursuing something that I knew was dead. It was like I'm trying to water a dead flower, and I don't know. It's just like we just stay so attached to things that may not be the best for us, like that.
You just got super deep with it.
I mean, yeah, because that's just what I had to do, because this is like I said, this is like a story, y'all. So I just had to take what I had to take from it. He was big on culture in this book to me, and persevering. The culture around his company when he created, his Zappos, he wanted it to be different. Yeah, so he was very big about not giving up. So that's why it can be that, that back and forth, like, do I give up, do I stay? We just read a book that said usually after your third time you keep pursuing and keep persevering, and you'll get, you know what I'm saying, you will unlock your goals, you will accomplish your goals.
Yeah, I was just gonna say what you just ended with when you said people tend to get attached, but it's usually the opposite. Because I think the last book you had said 90% of people quit like after like a year or something, or after the first try. So I think it's usually the opposite. But I see what you're saying though.
Right. When it's tough, I also think it depends on your emotions and your mental state too. Because, like, for example, entrepreneurship, like, and I just seen this. I don't know this. It's just like this craze to where I've seen like little ads and they say make money quick online, make money fast online, retire, quit today. This is not some. I don't know why it's perceived to be so easy. Maybe once you're established inside a company and you have that revenue, you can figure out ways to make it easier. But it's not something that's necessarily easy. So people getting into all these businesses, they doing all this stuff, and at the end of the day, you realizing like, damn, like that 9 to 5 is really like, I like when somebody else tell me what to do because I'm 100% responsible for everything that this company has to offer. So you can quit, and that means, but let's say, for example, you get people who in a toxic situation, a dead situation, in any type of, let's say, relationship wise, you may fear being lonely. Your mindset may be a scarcity mindset. You might feel like there's nothing else out there for you. You're going to hold on to that situation. Even though it's toxic, it could be draining, it could not be for you. And you ask God for signs, God has showed you every sign, but you still want to hold on. It's funny how it depends on the situation that we go through to where people will hold on and people will like let go with a couple hardships.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like the 9 to 5 example is more so related to the relationship example. I don't necessarily think it's because you don't have responsibility, but I think it's because it's a scary thought of, if my business fails, will I be homeless? Will I be able to eat? Will I be able to feed my kids if I have kids? How will my family end up? This and that. I think it's more so of it's more so of, okay, this is security. And I think that he did talk about that in the book. He talked about how they had to go through 2008, the recession, and they did have to let 8% of their company go. So of course they were established by then, because 8% is not really that much for a big company when you're the CEO, at least I should say. But for someone starting out, like, the recession could change your whole entire business. So I think it's more so just like, I have my 9 to 5. I know is a consistent check. It's coming unless I do something crazy to F up and get fired. I got a consistent check coming in. It's a high probability.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I see what you're saying. And the thing about Tony Hsieh, right? And one of the things I like, he was always trying to find ways to make it work. Like, he was very open about he didn't really want to cut back. He was really just doing his company was in survival mode. It was even a time period where he tried to move, or he moved his company, the people who work for him, into the same building. He wanted that culture. He wanted people around. He wanted to build that community of trust. He wanted to build that, hey, you guys, I want you to trust in me as your leader. So I'm doing this. I'm taking pay cuts. I'm losing out on money. Everything I'm doing, I'm putting it back into it. It was a situation where, one, I feel like a lot of people would quit. He ran into a hurdle to where they was outsourcing. They were trying to outsource their inventory and shipments, trying to outsource it to this company, this logistics firm, if I'm not mistaken, to handle it. Orders weren't getting shipped out right. Wrong sizes was being delivered. He didn't allow that mishap to change anything. He called up one of his partners, one of the guys he was with. He told him, "Hey, you have to go out there. You have to fix this, man. It's a mess out there." The guy dropped everything, got on the plane the same day. But it was because of that culture, that dynamic he created, or he tried to create, which, was making it very promising. And I just love that. Like, I feel like this was just like, it inspired me, and it motivated me to, okay, you will have these blocks, you will have these obstacles, you have to persevere. And it's not just with business. I feel like that in life. I feel like no matter what you go through, it is so easy to quit, it's so easy to give up, but we have to persevere even when it's hard. We can't allow that space, we can't allow, and this may be like, I'm not really like religious, but you can't allow the devil to enter your thoughts and conquer them, right? We read that in, was that 7 laws? Yeah, 7 spiritual laws. You can't allow that space. You might think these thoughts are your own, but they're not. And then you end up quitting and giving up. He was big on that.
This might be the first book where we disagree. This is going to be interesting. I think we should really just have conversations about our thoughts on this. But yeah, he was really big on culture. That was definitely my main takeaway from what he was trying to do with his company. But I think this book is actually capitalistic. And I don't know. I think as a CEO, okay, so one big thing that I have so many thoughts running through my head. So I'm very like, I can usually see both sides of the thing. So I usually have opinions on both, positive and negative on both. And one huge thing I noticed about entrepreneurs, like, and it's huge on social media, is they'll get on there and say, you shouldn't work for anybody. And they're drilling this in people's head. Don't work for nobody. Do your own business. But it's like, don't you have employees? It's just very contradicting. And I feel like this book is in a similar sense, kind of like that.
I see what you're saying, but my thing is this: at the end of the day, whether people preach there or not, I feel like to me, I take it as an outlet, because entrepreneurship is not for everybody. It's just not. Everybody is not. It's a certain mentality. It's a certain work ethic. It's a certain perseverance that you must have when you enter in business for yourself. Any little thing can go wrong, and you got to hold yourself accountable to that. You can't blame anybody. You can't look for exit. You can't blame a boss. You have to really sit there and take full control of that. So I see what people are saying. Like, I would still tell people as a business owner, yes, I do think that maybe I would say this. If you have the mental capacity and fortitude to own your own stuff, then do it. If you not, there is nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Everybody's dreams can differ. So I don't know though. It's like, it may be capitalistic, like you say, but I feel like the fact that he had another huge part of this book was customer service. He was going above and beyond for his customers. He was basically setting the trend to, and if you really look at large scale companies that's bigger than Zappos, it's kind of look like they took a piece of the customer service satisfaction, making sure people got their delivery delivered on time, doing everything that they can, spending a little extra money, doing a little extra phone calls, and having people. He didn't even have a script for his company to go by in customer service. He like, listen, assess the situation, go at it about you. He gave that trust to them. So I feel like the fact that he was so like, yes, he wanted people to buy in his company. Yes, he had employees, but he wanted those people to be satisfied. Whereas some companies, I just care about the profits. I don't really care what happens to the people who buy it. He wasn't like that. So I feel like, I don't know, when I think of capitalism, maybe this is just my opinion, I think it's something like, I feel like it's kind of like has a negative connotation to it. Do you agree with that or disagree when you hear that word?
All right, so this is where I was kind of saying, like, where I could see both sides, because I want to be a business owner, so I kind of have to like capitalism, because that's how the hardworking people get what they earn. So this is why it's usually hard for me to explain things, because I always understand both sides, pros and cons. So I would say for my working in a 9 to 5, I don't like capitalism because people are overworked and underpaid, right? But when I go home and I'm working on my business, I like capitalism because I could rack in profits not relating to my time. So capitalism is both positive and negative. But I think a majority of America would say capitalist is negative. So, but I will say relating to the book specifically, that he was big on culture, and he was very big on making sure his employees are happy, and that the environment was, well, from what he made it seem, I wasn't there, but from what he made it seem, the environment of the culture was good. And yeah, he was very, very big on customer service. He wanted all his customer service reps. He didn't want to outsource, and he didn't want to have people from Guatemala and Puerto Rico. He wanted everyone in one little room. So I will say, as a CEO standpoint in that aspect, good job.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's what I said. And I feel like if you are gonna have a big company, if you are gonna have a profitable business, I feel like he did a lot of good things to kind of prevent or make being a capitalist better, because he cared about his consumers and he cared about the people who work for him, his employees. And you will see a lot of people not like that. And then, but that's another reason why people are probably saying, well, own your own business, because if you are working under somebody, right, and if you are working for somebody, they do get the power to dictate your vacation. They get the power to dictate your pay. They give that power. So it's a pro and con of working the 9 to 5, which I still do, and having a business. It's pros and cons to everything, but I think it's just like, where is your mental fortitude in this? I feel like we have a lot of complainers, and I was just listening to somebody. I was listening to a podcast with Teaching Men's Fashion. Jose, I can't think of his last name, but his name is Jose, and he runs Teaching Men Fashion. He was like, listen, I'm waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, me and kind of have the same schedule. If you think about 4 o'clock in the morning, he's working all day. He get home. He treat his Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, and his Friday, Saturday, and Sunday the same day. It ain't no off days, ain't no weekends. And he said, okay, I'm working this hard. I'm working this much a week. So when I'm on the beach, don't be sitting up here saying billionaires are greedy and all you want to do is like complain, which some people do. Complain instead of changing their situation. They just complain about it. Like, look, all the work I'm putting in. I don't party. I don't go to the clubs. I miss out on everything. I'm working. I'm scaling my business. That's what I love to do. That's why I'm here. I'm scaling my business. That's what I want. So don't have that attitude like, oh, well, billionaires are greedy. Billionaires are this, billionaires are that. When at the same time, you're comfortable with having your weekends off. You're comfortable with only working a few hours a day. And then when you come home, no other work, no working on yourself, no working on no nothing. It's like, I feel like it's hard to kind of balance making everybody happy.
Yeah, I think that's the argument, though. I think the people who watch this podcast are going to be 100% on your side, just because the things that we're into are going to attract like-minded individuals. But my ex would talk to me about this often, because like I said, I decide with capitalism because I do want to be a business owner. And she kind of would like push the boundaries a little bit with my thoughts. And I think the argument is that we shouldn't have to, because we're in a side hustle culture right now. Everyone has a side hustle because they want to make an extra 1,000 to whatever a month. And I think the argument is we shouldn't have to have a side hustle. We shouldn't have to work 8 hours a day and then come home and work another 4 hours to survive or to buy nice things or whatever. And she kind of like would push my thoughts on that a little bit. And I kind of began to understand what she's saying. And I kind of agree. I don't necessarily think we should have to do that. I think we should live in a society that provides us with, do you see what I'm saying? Like, we shouldn't have to work 12 hours a day. And if you don't work 12 hours a day, you're lazy.
But you know what? To be fair, I see both sides. I'm with you there, because I completely agree. Like, me and my girlfriend have conversations about this all the time. I really feel like the world we live in right now, or I ain't gonna say the world, America, right? Let's just say for America, for example. If you really think about it, if you look back in the day, right? Back in the day before schools existed, colleges, anything, people had a family, they raised a farm, you traded, your chickens, your cows. It was like a barter system. You raised your family. It wasn't no need to go to school, go to college, get you a job, on a pay scale that you want to. It wasn't no need for none of that. So this whole life that we feel, I feel like it's kind of orchestrated because there's so many systems that if you never had these systems in place, we would be tending to our own families, minding our business, talking to our neighbors, just living like it's not what is it called? Living off grid, like an off grid type of lifestyle. So I understand that, but then it's also the same way. Like there's a first place and a 10th place for a reason. So the people at the top, right? The people they're usually the ones who are putting in this work. I mean, I know it's a lot of people that feel like, oh, a lot of stuff is inherited. Like 70% of millionaires are first generation millionaires, right? That was the statistic. I'm not sure if that's been updated since, but it's like there's a reason, there's a scale. Like the poor will always, it's not fair that people in Africa are poor, you know, or they don't have anything, and not just countries in Africa, I should say, because Africa is not a country. I just want to specify that. Certain countries or third world countries, Honduras, anywhere you go, that's not fair. And you got people in the hood with plasma TVs, with nice cars, with nice hair, nice weaves and head nails done. That ain't fair either. But I just don't think that scale, that scale of fairness, I just feel like that's just, it's like we just gotta adjust and adapt. It's not fair that Black people couldn't drink out of, you know what I'm saying, certain water fountains. So what do you do for that though? You know what I'm saying? That's where my argument is always at. Okay, it ain't fair. You're right. You're 100% right. But what do we do about it? Because complaining, crying about it, that doesn't change it. It won't change it. So now that the power in your hands, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be an activist for 15 years and hope for a pay raise? What do you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you feel like the solution is?
Yeah, that was my rebuttal as well. I would always say, well, this is what it is. So I'm gonna be capitalist. Like, cause I like, she just wanted me to understand her. And I eventually got there, I understood, but I'm like, but this is the society we're in. It's like, I had to side with capitalism because that's the society we're in. So that was also my rebuttal. I don't know any solutions. I'll be honest, but for the society we live in, yeah, I want to be a capitalist. I want to be a business owner. I want my time to be completely separated from my income.
But you know what? And that's another reason, like her argument is also another good reason to be a capitalist, because guess what? With my companies, when you have good people who are in a position where they have money, they're gonna, like, my whole thing is to make myself valuable to help people. I want to go in these cities that don't have much and provide. I want to use my money for good. That money is really just a freedom tool for me. It's not something to where I want, oh, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna have toys or nice things. What I'm saying is that's some people's heart. People want to be money because they want Gucci belts and stuff like that. That's not why I want money. I want to really make my change and have people around me feel the difference, know the presence of when people have money, you can do good with it. I know a lot of millionaires do good with their money, they give back. So it's like that's more reason why you should be in ownership or still in control, or if you have the opportunity to make a large amount of money, why you should, because guess what, you can help more people, and a lot of people you can help, you know, making a certain amount of money. So why not, you know what I'm saying, put the effort in to give back, you know what I'm saying, and try to, maybe you could be the one stop that, maybe you can have a company where you giving out fair wages.
I don't think you'd last very long, but yeah. Yeah, I definitely used to be huge on feeling like what I was gonna give was monetary, but I've since changed my perspective because money isn't. So I've been getting very big on spiritual awakenings and, you know, all that stuff, and I've really come to the realization that money is not real in any aspect whatsoever. Because I used to dedicate 10% of my budget to giving. Like I literally used to just pass out money so it would hit my budget. Like that's literally what I used to be on. And then I just came to an awakening realization that this is not even real. The Most High would not, I feel like this means nothing to the Most High because he did not create this monetary system. I think so for me, strictly me wanting to own a business is freedom of time and being able to grow. And I want to give knowledge. I think that's what I've come to the conclusion. Giving things that are natural, giving happiness, joy, etc.
Yeah, Yeah, and it's funny because what was that? What was that? I think yeah, that was Seven Spiritual Laws. Man, that was a powerful book. But like you said, just giving, like you don't always have to give in monetary value. Like, and that's the thing to where I had to learn. It's some people in the world like that. Like some people in the world just want nice things. I've honestly, I could well afford a new wardrobe. I've honestly had like my 9 to 5, I've made it to where I've created my own uniform. I wear the same, basically like the same outfits every week. They barely see me do something new as far as an outfits. Like, but it works for me. But what I had to understand is everything that worked for me, man, I work with other people. And I had to kind of do some adjustment to my thought process because I'm really somebody who, like you said, money for me is really just time. Like I want to be as free as I possibly can to do the things that I enjoy to do. Now it's gonna be nice when I have money and I do want to do new things. I want to travel. I want a nice, outfit. I want some nice shoes. That's great. It works then. But I feel like when you're not a materialistic person and you still have that goal, that's what make it better, at least in my opinion. Like I know, like with my herbal business, I know for a fact that, of course, like like the money I'm getting for my herbs, that's just a byproduct. Because what I'm really doing is giving a service so where people can get adequate vitamins and minerals, where people can get plant-based nutrition, where they don't have to go into these vitamin aisles at the grocery stores and you pick up and you read other ingredients and they got rice flour in it. What? I'm supposed to be getting vitamin C, but half of the pill is rice flour. You're not even getting what you think you're paying for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like for me, it's a lot of integrity in everything I do. So I don't really have no argument on anything like that's negative. I know a lot of people, like you said, you're excellent. A lot of people just see it, and I understand. A lot of people are very underpaid. I agree with that 100%. Especially now, it's like everybody hiring. Why are y'all offering people $11 an hour? Like, come on, man, y'all.
Well, just in case my ex is watching, she makes a lot of money. She's not underpaid, but I was just, saying her argument.
But I'm saying, but even if it's not her, it's just a lot of people truly are underpaid. And I understand that, but I think more so it's just like, okay, well, let's find the solution. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, we've been complaining. A lot of people have been complaining for years, and
yeah. I think also it's just very like, I think
I'm not saying you complaining. I'm just saying I've had this conversation with a lot of people, so I don't want you to get offended.
Right. I'm like, wait, she actually might watch this. Or like,
right. No, listen, this is nothing to you personally, okay? I'm just saying I've had this conversation with a lot of people.
That's hilarious. I think, going back to wardrobe though, I'm not gonna lie. I think you should try just doing a little 1-2 with the wardrobe and see how you feel, because I used to never buy myself clothes, and I started getting into it, and it actually makes you feel like real, like maybe you already feel you don't need it, you'll just already feel the confidence, but it kind of brought me up a little step. I'm not gonna lie. So
no, you be fresh. I'll be saying you put the pieces on. I think I started there first. So I think I was one of the people that, like, I was listening to Gucci Mane, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was listening to things. So where I was trying to do that stuff very early. And I realized I'm just like, I'm not getting happiness for this. And to be honest with you, I was going into Marshall's, give me a couple dollars. Like, well, I ain't gonna say a couple dollars, but I give me an outfit, let's say under $100, the complete outfit outside the shoes. And I would be next to people or next to dudes like Gucci this, Louis Vuitton belts and BB belts, and the girls looking at me. I just feel like if that's a part of you, then it works. But I'm just somebody I'm gonna bring out pieces on nice occasion. I don't need to do it all the time. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
When I did do that, I was more upset. I'm like, damn, I just bought this shirt. I was more upset about that until I get to a certain position to where I really don't count it. Like, I really not count it, but I'm counting a lot of things still. So I'm still growing, but hopefully maybe that'll change one day. Maybe that'll change. I'm always be fly.
No, I do still have buyer's remorse, but yeah, I don't notice any more or less attention when I wear expensive pieces, whether my outfit is like $100 versus like in the thousands. I don't notice any more or less attention.
I feel
But
like
it's
you're
more,
good at
but
doing both. Like I feel like you're very sleek and you're very clean. So I feel like I don't like it don't really like when you pull your pieces out, it's fly. But I've seen you clean and I haven't seen a Gucci sign on you and you still fly. Like next to
yeah, I
people, it's just
don't
like
yeah, when I don't wear pieces with the design, I think I'm not gonna lie, I think it's kind of corny. I'm sorry if you're watching this and that's what you like, then do you. But I just think it's corny. Like even my designer shoes, the ones I wear the most don't even have the designer name on it. It just looks like someone asked me if they were Nikes. Like they just look like regular shoes, but I like them. So,
that's good.
but back on track to the monetary thing. I think it's just like since we're not really doing it for the actual money to spend it, I really feel like it's just an addiction to the working hard and seeing results. I feel like, at least for me, I think that's what it is for me. I like working hard and seeing my results are paying off, and how I can see it is through money. That's the numbers I see.
I definitely agree. I feel like for me, I'm involved with so many things that like some things that I'm getting paid for, some things I'm not at this moment. So for me, it has to be like I said, my biggest thing is seeing like a completed checklist, a completed thing. Because yes, my bank account is growing, but sometimes like you said, like us, like even recording this, like recording all these pieces of content, editing, posting clips daily, like that don't we not getting nothing for that, not right now. That's the goal is for that to change, but right now, but that's still work. That's still something that's getting checked off my list. That's still something that I feel accomplished after I'm doing this, because this is not easy, and then along with every other facets in our life. So I think for me it's just like, okay, now I'm seeing the stuff completed. Now I'm actually getting things done. And I think for me, it's just that completed checklist. It's just that workaholic. And I think that's what Tony Shea, me, you, we all have in common, right? Just the fact that we really want to work hard and dedicate ourselves to something other than just partying and going out every weekend. I feel like that culture completely don't exist with us. I know he was talking about rave. Like he was into rave at one particular time. And once it started being commercial, he kind of was out of it. And I know you said something about, you're adopting habits to kind of balance your life with some fun. That's what I need to be doing. Like I need a habit that I'm sitting up here like working out is fun. I'm like, no, that's kind of really mandatory. And although
Oh,
it has so many,
I think working out is fun. I think,
I do too. But
yeah.
do you do it just like is it just like for me? It's more like all the benefits that come with it. I wouldn't say that this is something that I do strictly to have fun.
Like you wouldn't do it if say nothing came out of it, you just do it, you wouldn't do it.
I enjoy it though. I enjoy it. But it's not. It's like I enjoy it, but I know it's something like I'm not doing for fun. You mentioned skating. I love skating. I haven't been in a minute actually, but that's something that's just strictly for fun. Even though that's a workout too. You see what I'm saying?
That's actually one of the reasons why I go too.
Oh wow, yeah. So you tapped in on that.
Yeah. But I was gonna say things like I feel like people who just work a lot should find hobbies that also have benefits too. So like golfing, because you can network on the field. Skating is mine because you also get exercise. So I'm like having fun and getting exercise, like hobbies like that.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest ones that I used to do, and I'll say used to because I do it often, but like nature walks. So like I love just being in nature, going to a creek, going to some type of trail, and then just really just trying to like meditate. Not like sit down meditate, I shouldn't say, but just practicing deep breath. Anytime I'm outside, I always practice my deep breathing. Looking at nature, just looking at the way the trees and the leaves move. Like I'm really big into that. Like that's fun for me. I ain't gonna lie, like even something simple. I love word searches. right? And it's like a hobby, like, but I feel like I need to develop that space to kind of, because like I said, working out has such a mental benefit to me to where I'm just physically putting myself through hard stuff and overcoming it. But something just like, maybe it's not hard to do, maybe it's just fun. I need to kind of develop that.
Ah, got you. Got you. Yeah, working out. I don't push myself to that. Mine is more so I'm just trying to build a habit of working out every day. So when I'm done, I'm done. Like I don't really be like, oh, I gotta get one more set.
I feel you. But yeah, but overall though, I feel like he told a good story. I feel like this is a great, like, if you're in a process of developing a company and you want a sustainable company, you want a company that it's a joy to be a part of. Like, this man has one of the best companies that you can work for. I forgot what is the actual name of it. It's like the best places to work. It's like a list. This is one of those companies. People enjoy it. His company Culture Book is actually something that's sold in stores because of how powerful it was, just to bring, like, engage your community, engage your employees, you, in a community setting. I feel like Tony Hsieh was kind of like a pioneer in this field. He created something different. And although it wasn't like my normal books where, you know, you gauged in a lot of information and it was just a story being told, I enjoyed the story. I think that for somebody, like I said, for somebody who's building a company, I think that this would be helpful. It'll give you a couple ideas on, you know, when you hire your employees, you know, what type of atmosphere you want to create for your business.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely not like any of the other books we read. I was actually surprised because I'm getting to chapter 1 and chapter 2 and chapter 3, and I'm like, is he just going to talk about his journey the whole time?
I did that.
But I did highlight one thing, which is I usually highlight more than one thing, but I highlighted one thing in this book. This is where I said it was kind of capitalism, but it could still have takeaways because I think this is kind of what you were getting at the whole episode. So what I highlighted was, yet no matter how much better we get, we'll always have hard work to do. We'll never be done and we'll never get it right. And I think he was basically just saying, like, you always got to push for something. If you have a goal, you always got to keep pushing. Like, there's never a platform. There's always going to be a step. And I think that's kind of what you were getting at. Like, you got to put in that work if you want to get to where you want to go.
Right. Yeah. And that's and I think that for people who work like really hard work, and I think you have to understand, like, there is no destination point. Like, when people say you have to fall in love with the journey, yeah, because the journey don't stop. Like, I seen somebody post this the other day. My best self will forever be pending because I'm always working to be better. And I just love that because there is no point that, you know, I feel like people don't really, like, when you're a very successful, hardworking person, there is no point that you get to where you say, oh, I can stop, I can breathe now. It's a continuous thing. And I think, like, when you just read that highlighted statement to me, it told me and let me know, like, there is, like, it's really not an end goal. Like, you can accomplish goals, but you're gonna always have goals. You're gonna have goals till you die on something. So just be okay with the push, be okay with the ground, be okay with the work, because at the end of the day, to get the things you want, to continue having that freedom, you have to keep going. Maybe you can make it fun. Maybe you can customize it to where it works for you. Maybe you don't have to be that hard work and that grueling stuff, but the plan is to stay in motion, right? The plan is to keep motion is medicine. The plan is to keep going. And even if you stumble, if you fall, if you trip, if you know what I'm saying, you got to get up and keep going. Like, that's what I got from that. When you just read that, that's what clicked in my mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think just kind of what you said, you really have to just fall in love with the journey, because chasing the result is gonna drive you nuts. You have to just love every step of the way through life, and then it doesn't just have to be with work. Just love, just improving in every area.
Yeah. So we're gonna finish it off with the ratings. What did you rate this book?
Ooh, I didn't even think about it. Are we rating it on information, entertainment?
Just overall. Don't even just overall. Like, what you think that you felt.
I mean, it was cool.
Just want to see if we got the same number.
I'll do 7.
Hey, that was my
Okay.
that was my same number. That's so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so yeah, if you want to check it out, it's called Delivering Happiness. It's by Tony Hsieh. We're gonna have it spelled in the bio for you because it's not like the regular spelling of Shay. He is Asian American, and he spelled it a little differently. But yeah, so let us know your opinion. Have you read this? And if you do read it, what did you think about it? I'm on GT,
And I'm Jordan. Peace.
and another one.